All right. Call the meeting to order. Would you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. All right, first up is to review and approve the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written?
So second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next up, review and approve the minutes from the July 24th regular select board meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And, okay,
I was not here at that meeting.
good point. And then review and approve the August 8th special select board meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Abstentions?
Abstain, yes, I left prior to executive session.
Okay. Motion passes. Open public comment. John?
What's the hours for the town manager?
What's the what?
The hours for the town manager.
I was here 7:30 to now, but that probably won't be all the time. We're open 8 to 4.
Also, I'd like to know, what is going on with the highway department? Look at front of Riverside house. That is a disaster. You guys have to be ashamed of yourself. I think you guys go by it all the time, Bruce and you know, that ditch and everything. That's a no-no. You don't take water from a road and put it on somebody else's property. You do not do that. You ought to know better than that. And over by Tommy Grace's, that hill going up, there's a sinkhole over there that you could lose your front tire. And that's been there for a month. Because I stopped and asked the guy, he said, this has been going on for a month.
Tom Grace? You said Tom
I'm
Grace?
just asking him, what's the
Tommy
town
Grace.
crew doing?
So-
And go around and using coal patch to patch the holes. Coal patch is only a temporary fix. It's only good for the winter time. You gotta use hot mix and emulsion.
So John, first of all, are you talking about Tom Grace or Tommy Grace? Which house are you talking about?
I think it's about Timmy Grace.
Or Timmy Grace?
What's that now?
Which Grace are you talking about? You're talking about a sinkhole.
By up Tommy Grace's house, going up the hill, there's a sharp corner right at the end. On the left-hand side. There's a sinkhole as big as that, right there, and the guy told me that lived there in that corner, it's been like that for a month.
Okay.
I mean, we spent a lot of time roadside mowing and mowing the lawn. I noticed that. We spent a lot of time doing that, but yet we can't even do the trimming. Go look at the stone wall between the bridge and the railroad track. The stone wall's got weeds at least 3 feet high in that stone wall. But we mow
Okay.
it. I mean, you guys want to be proud of the town? I'd like to see some work being done and things taken care of.
Can I address this?
And I noticed on the Four Corners, which is by the library. All right? I noticed that driving it tonight. The sign's not even straight. It's like this.
They're supposed to be like that.
Okay. Anything else, John?
Well, I'm just curious. What do they do? It doesn't take that long to take water and sewer samples.
Okay. Well, today they were out painting crosswalks and things like that. So, did you want to address something?
Yeah, so I met with Kyle today, and as far as the sinkholes go, there was people saying they had sinkholes. Some weren't that bad, and they have patched them, and it's held to work. There's one individual up the street that I think you could be talking about, that every time they patch it, it just keeps sinking in, so they think it's something worse. So they have been meeting with Safe Dig. They've got it all marked out. They're gonna go dig to see if it's something with the line, and it could have been something when Belden put the road in. But he also has them up his driveway in a couple other spots, so probably has nothing to do with that. So he has been working with them on a constant basis, trying to figure out what it is.
It's very simple. Either the water line's leaking or a culvert's leaking.
Well, it could
You
be,
gotta dig it up and fix it. You just can't keep patching it.
no, he is taking care of it. He's
Yeah.
he's addressing the issue, he's meeting with the people, and he's gonna go up there and work on it.
Well,
A lot of it is, everybody has heavy rains this year, and there's a lot of sinkholes and dip-ins throughout the town, and it's not caused from our pipes or, water mains.
Well, there's a sinkhole up on, going up the hill from Mary Fagoli's house, and I don't know who the guy's name, but he said,
I went up there today, and I didn't see
you can see
anything
the
about Mary
patch. You can
Fergosi's.
see it, right when he drives in the driveway, you can see the patch. It's right next, just below, Warren McCullough's house, just up to you. You can see the patch.
Is it Mary Fergosi's house or Warren McCullough's
Yeah,
house?
they're kind of a distance apart.
Well, Mary Fagoli's house is a disaster, that whole thing there. But up the street, before you get to Warren McCullough's house.
On the right-hand side, same side.
Yeah, same side.
Right,
There's
that's
a
the one he's,
sinkhole there that, what's it, John Collis put coal patches, and it still hasn't been.
and that's at the end of the driveway, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's the one he's working with him on. So he is taking
But
care of
why does it take so long to do anything?
it. Because sometimes you can't get people to they want to dig safe there first. They don't have a lot of the equipment, so he's been going back and forth, and they thought they could just patch it. And then he called him again and said it got worse, so he went back up. So he is taking care of it. They are addressing it.
So can we use hot mix to patch the hole?
So, John, it's being addressed, and we're gonna
I
move.
mean, because you pay a lot, it costs twice as much for coal patch than it does hot mix. I know that for a fact.
Okay, is there anything else?
No?
Thank you. Any other open public comment?
I just want to, I don't know if I should mention it here or what, but the pool, it did close today, because there was some issue with the sewer line from the pool. So there's only going to be open 2 more days, so they've taken care of that too. They're working on that, so, and we'll put that on the agenda to deal with.
Okay.
So.
All right. Moving on to discussion and action items. Did everybody get a chance to review the bills and sign the orders?
Yes.
Okay. Riverside Cemetery Management and Planning. We did have another interment this week, or last week. And I think once Judy gets settled into her new position and I get settled into this, we'll move on to doing an organizational meeting for the cemetery. But everything's going fine. Fiscal year 23 single audit amendment with Sullivan and Powers.
And I think everyone got a copy of that with the notation for the single audit of $6,000. And the additional cost was because of the Willow Sewer project.
Right.
So is there a motion to approve the single audit amendment for Sullivan Powers for the Willow Street project?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
That was a good project to get done.
Yes.
Definitely.
All right, tree cutting bids.
We only got one.
There's one. All right. This is from Trees Incorporated. And the total, it's just a total, $6,735. And that's for 51 South, 49 South, and 18 to 20 patch. And that is for removing the trees and then grinding the stumps on South Street and removing the grinding.
Does everyone want to go with that?
Yeah.
Did you want to go for bids again, or?
I make a motion, we take the trees bid. Care to see it?
Yeah. Yeah, those are 2 big, huge
Yes, they are.
spruce trees and,
And they're not, they're in a very,
you know, that's gonna
Busy
hold up
place.
the, yeah, we've
Yeah,
gotta get them
huge.
done before we, can go any further.
Well, these were the ones we didn't do last year because of,
Will it
The budget.
impact Route 3 traffic?
Huh?
Will it impact Route 3 traffic?
Yes.
And then
You know,
the pedestrian traffic, once school is open, goes on South Street? We have to be concerned with that. I would assume the sidewalk's gonna be closed.
worst case scenario, they could go behind the church.
Right.
Or Reynolds Street.
They could
and down.
reroute around the church.
You know,
But,
they could-
Even tractor trailers?
Well, I don't believe we're allowed to block both lanes.
No,
Pardon?
I don't think they'll block both lanes.
Okay.
yeah.
And their traffic control should be able to handle, you know, some pedestrian traffic too.
All right.
Yeah.
They've been
Maybe
pretty
they
good.
can do it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they work with the state all the time.
Not interfere
Yeah, with
with the
school.
school.
Yes, going to school and coming home from school.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there is a motion on the table to accept the bid. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right. If there's no other business, is there a motion to move from the regular select board meeting into the Board of Water Commissioners?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Zion Growers Equivalent User Rate. So we received a letter from Zion requesting us to take another look at their user rate. I think everybody received a copy.
Yeah, I just had one question. You know, he detailed pretty well, he had some rental space in there with people, but I don't see any mention of the exhibit. I don't know if the exhibit pays separately or,
I think he included his people, the tenants, and then museum visitors, so I
Right
think
here.
he had wrapped them together.
okay. 9 per day.
A little different.
Yeah, I hope they're doing better than that.
Yeah.
They must have a couple of employees at least,
I think they have one employee and 2 volunteers.
do they? So there's 3 there. Okay.
But,
I think for this year, we should stay with what we've decided, and that's my opinion. And if they want to revisit it for next year, but I think we made a pretty generous adjustment for them. That's my opinion.
I just feel that, I mean, the calculations are usually based on capacity, you know, what could be in there, what's, you know, and they're using a 5-gallon versus 15-gallon. They're basically looking to have it pay what a single person would in a home. You know, somebody living by themselves, the same amount as they would for that building over there.
And certainly the capacity is much higher than that.
And then too, you know, when I look at that, they're talking about that first, second, third, fourth paragraph, when taking Zion and the Marble Museum tenancy into account, there are maximum 8 people per shift per day. You know, and then when you look at it on the bottom of the page, he's got it broken down from when they purchased through May, and then there was a second calculation that included the Marble Museum when they opened, and he was saying that they would have 9 additional people. But when you look at the calculations on that first page, you know, it says tenants, 7, 8 people. You know, in the minutes from the July 14th meeting, there was a paragraph in there that said they had 3 tenants, and they also had Zion, which wasn't in the building yet. So, you know, in that time period, on their first set of calculations, it was 8 people. And then, you know, once the marble exhibit opened, they had new calculations, and again, it has 8 people. So I would, you know, just question, you know, just to make sure that that is the correct total number of full-time employees in the building is 8.
You mean in just the museum itself, or?
No, total.
Total.
Because they're responsible, there's only one bill. It probably goes to Zion when I read this.
right,
You know, and the tenants, you know, would give the information to Zion, and then he would give it to, you know, the water board or,
Right.
you know, the water department, saying that we have 8 total employees here. And that's where you come up with the $15 a day per employee. You know, so I just wonder what that total may be with 7 tenants plus Zion occupying the buildings, if that is an accurate figure.
You mean when they fully occupy it?
No, right now.
Oh. I don't think Zion has more than one. I think that all the rest are tenants. The total 8 is them and the tenants, is my understanding.
Yeah, but when you read that first sentence of that paragraph, when taking Zion and the Marble Museum, Tennessee into account, there is a maximum of 8 people between the two of them when I read that sentence.
Right?
So what do you suggest, Albert?
Well, I would, you know, we have a fee schedule, and I think that fee schedule should be applied uniformly against all the users, you know, so there are times that we have to rely on the information they give us, and that would be total number of employees, but with Marble, whatever the name of that business is, Marble Works, or what was the name of that marble business that's in
Yeah,
Oh, Johnson's?
Proctor Marble?
Proctor
You know,
Marble, yeah, then Johnson.
there was no representation from, you know, Proctor on that discussion. And I think there should have been if you were gonna resort to a discussion to come up with a usage total. But prior to going to that type of calculation, I think there should be somebody from the water board or water department, at least make a site visit to that business just to see what their potential capacity of water usage could be. You know, they've got machinery. When we had inventory tax, we could look at, you know, that worksheet and see what they had for equipment there. But we don't have inventory tax anymore, so we can't look at a Lister worksheet to see what they have for equipment. It would be nice to know, you know, what they do have in that building that utilizes water.
Right.
And what process they have that utilizes water.
And I think we should also reconfirm that Zion is indeed responsible for their water bills, because I know that the electricity, the Wilsons take care of their own electricity. So I would like to just have that reconfirmed, that Zion takes care of the water bill and they don't take care of their own water bill.
No, they take care of all of us.
The whole building?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know why they put in Johnson Marble, because they're,
Johnson has nothing to do.
I think that was just a comparison.
They're comparing how much we charge Johnson to how much water they use versus how much the Proctor Marble
Right.
company uses.
Well, I tend to agree with Ben, going back to his original statement, saying that I think we were very generous with them this year based on history, and I think that we should let them address it again next year if they'd like, but stick to our guns for this year.
I agree.
yeah, because of the budget's all been set up, and this is not the time to change, maybe.
So stay with the 5, counting it as 5 instead of 10. like we
I think that's the
reduced last
consensus of the board, yeah.
time. Okay.
But does it seem like they're asking for, to be absolved from this year too? They haven't paid downstairs.
No, I know, they haven't paid a dime.
If you read the way it says, when it talks about the 2 timeframes, I think that's the intention.
Oh, I think it is too,
Okay.
yeah.
So can I just ask a question then? Because a few months ago, when the delinquent report came through, the statement was from the prior town manager to the board, if you hadn't made a payment by 6/30/23, if you didn't make a payment by 6/30/23, your water was going to be shut off.
Right.
It seems to me personally that they are being treated differently than residents are who we have turned water off of. That was simply my observation, sitting here and listening to you.
I think it was let go. I mean, I think they kept saying, oh, we'll get to you, we'll work with you, you know, and they didn't. And I think, I agree, they shouldn't be treated any differently, especially, I mean, they're gonna be one of the top 3 that owe us.
Well, I think if they're delinquent, they should be treated like anybody else. I don't know how far delinquent they are, but if that's the case, then
Well, since they've moved in, they haven't, since they took over, they
haven't
haven't
paid.
paid at all.
I believe they've been sent letters though, right, like everybody else.
I'd have to check with Celia, because
Yeah.
I think it was Michael who was dealing with them a lot. But I'll get the dollar amount too.
But yeah, I don't want to change anything for this year.
No.
Okay. Is there a motion to go out of water commissioners and to convene the board?
Just before we leave this, could we need to get back on our schedule for, we've kind of dropped off on shut-offs and water.
Yeah.
Like to get back onto that, when you can
Right.
fit it in.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
we're getting close to the time period that we can't,
We can't.
Right,
whether
And
we've got
we-
time to,
we were making some headway, so.
Right, right. And he mentions it in his report, and then I've got some updates on his report, so I'll talk to it.
Great, okay.
Good.
All right, so is there a motion to adjourn the Board of Water Commissioners and convene the Board of Sewage Commissioners?
So moved.
Is there a second?
second,
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, any business for sewage commissioners?
There's nothing, just, the things I'll mention with the guys, I'll just mention in the report.
Okay. So, given that, if there's no other business for sewer, is there a motion to adjourn the Board of Sewage Commissioners and reconvene the Board of Selectmen meeting?
So, second.
All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Departmental reports. Anything for the sheriff?
Any questions on the sheriffs?
Nope.
Looks like they've been around and busy.
Manager's report?
Okay, so everyone has Michael's report in here, and I'll just touch upon each item that, if anything, talk about the transition, so I've kind of been able to navigate most things and find where they are, and if not, I ask people, so, the emergency contact list I did update, which I'll change again, because I have the cell number now for Albert, so I'll add that too. The wastewater, we got the inspection and the process for the wastewater treatment plant's been completed. The report had some deliverables on it, and I talked with Kyle today, so we're gonna sit down together with the other guys and kind of go over the report and the things that have to be accomplished. Designating chief operators by 12/31/2023, and then implementing some changes to the plant down there. So, he's on board with that. Nameplates, I've contacted them to order one for Albert. Water sewer disconnects, he does mention that there have been agreements that have been broken, and I checked today and there's actually 11 agreements that have been broken. So they haven't paid in the last month, so those will probably result, they have disconnects for anytime Monday through Thursday, 8 to 2 schedule. So we'll go over that with Kyle too. Talked about paving and budget coming in slightly under for West Street, so looking to see where we can actually add that to do some other work. And he referenced Florence as a possibility. He hadn't heard back from Dave Wilcox for the logging road inspection, so I called Dave and I left him a voicemail today and hope to hear back from him soon. The stuffed beavers for Beaver Pond giveaway. They sent a final draft today and I got approval, so I gave her the okay to go ahead and make those. And other than that, just welcoming Albert aboard. Any questions? And all the, I signed up all the DPW guys for a course tomorrow for flagging certification. They're all due, some are overdue, so they're all going. It's in Rutland Town from 8 to noon. So well, so just by the time the courses came up and they lapsed, so I signed them out just to make sure they did it.
Any other business? not, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Well, I didn't know you were doing it. Let me ask you a question, two questions. What is the bucket loader?
Where is it?
No, no machine gun.
Well, I'm sure if I ask Kyle, he'd tell me where it is.
We can find out for you, John.
And also, the pickup that John Paulus used to drive.
Uh-huh.
What's the story on that? I see it's parked down there in the weeds.
Is that the Ford?
And I hope the loader is not in the salt shed, because if it is, there'll be nothing left. And you ought to know that.
Okay, John, I understand that.
And that's-
Any other questions?
That's a $300,000 machine.
Any other questions, John?
No.
So a motion is on the table to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.